have some questions about your last work. When shall this Friday begin? Only by looking at the composition titles and not even listening to the music itself, I can feel the influences of Romanticism, or the more precise German Romanticism. Romanticism in general is eternal search and admiration and encouragement of some passions which have destructive force, namely jealousy, hatred, and so on. So could those ideas characterize your creativity completely?
Well, I think Romanticism is part of the record, but it's not the full thing. I mean, it can mean a lot of things to people. I guess I was inspired by Romanticism, by Caspar Friedrich, and that movement, that German Romanticism movement in a way. But I mean, I don't like to really put it that my work is like, from that era, or like people should sort of think about that or associate that period with my work. But, ultimately, when people listen to my music, it's really up to their imagination what it means, and I try to keep that open. And like we were just talking about, I never really know what a record means, or it's not like I make the titles with the music because of a certain reason. It's just usually intuition, and because I think it feels good, and then in the end, when everything comes together, it means something. But like I said, to me, it's more important to leave it up to imagination of the listener, and so as to keep things open so people can make their own idea of what it means. I have more inspirations than Romanticism, but maybe it just turned out that way, and then you have this sort of association with it, which is fine.
Okay. Video for the song Roomy is part of Triptych, inspired by the work of Friedrich.
Yes.
Friedrich?
Yes.
What unites you with part?
These three videos, there's in Friedrich you have the Rückenfigur, which means the back figure. There's a landscape, the person standing, and then he's filmed from the back. And I guess he did that for the first time, painted this guy, from the back, and then which was sort of a strange thing to do, right? For the first time, I guess. And so these three videos sort of reference that idea, and I don't know. I mean, that seemed to be the sort of it happened that way again. It was not sort of planned, but it sort of came out that way also. And that's sort of the thread that binds these three pieces. One is this one for Ruins. Then there's the trailer where I'm in this landscape, and I'm standing there basically with a smoke bomb, and you can't really see the smoke bomb, but so there's smoke coming out of my mouth, and I look like I'm on fire, and then I say, I can get no air. And then there's another video which I just co-directed with Tom Jarmusch, the brother of Jim Jarmusch, for one other song that's on the record. And it's like, and that also references Friedrich, but that's still a secret. It still has to come out, but anyway, so that will come out soon.
Okay, tendencies to make everything mystical in art, to paint everything in dark colors, and to create a shade of mystery and enigma becomes mainstream today. But it begins actually to seem like a cliche without preliminary reel going into the subject. Do you agree with this?
Mystification, I don't know. I guess it's in your mind if something is mystified or not. It's ultimately to the viewer if something's mystified. I don't think I mystify things. I think, I think I make them more visible, really, in my work. So that's sort of, what is mystification? Yeah, not telling what something is or so, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I mystify stuff. So I don't know, how to answer your question,
I mean, a lot of new bands that creates their own unique, but also not so unique style with that dark colors, with strange lyrics and so on.
Yeah.
So it becomes mainstream.
Yeah, it did. I don't follow mainstream so much. So I don't have the time to do that, and I don't really, I don't really watch TV or anything. And I really, I usually look for stuff and then, watch it. So I don't know about that. Maybe that's the case, but I don't really see that.
Your music is quite minimalistic, and if you add to that your interest in Christian mysticism, I would like to ask you about your attitude towards freedom. So, what is your concept of freedom, and how could it be achieved?
Well, my concept of freedom is that I feel that an artist or musician or any artist, should fight society and should fight, ruling forces and should be a rebel against, all the stuff that's wrong in the world, and especially at the moment, So I think that the first and foremost role of a musician is to, fight the establishment, and that to me is number one. And they've always, I guess it's also like if the artist can be critical of the society, who can still be really? They are the only ones who are at this point outside of it. They don't have a boss, or they don't have somebody to answer to really, so they can criticize the government, or they can criticize their, the ruling forces. So that's how I see freedom. Use your freedom to fight. Other people's. They're trying to take away freedom from other people. Fight that. And use that as your freedom. That's sort of the role for the artist, considering freedom.
Do you think that modern music had a chance to stay in centuries like the works of classic composers, or its quantity and quality mixed into one faceless stream?
You mean if classical music will survive? Is that your question?
No, modern music that creates today, will it stay in the memories of people, or modern music is more like faceless stream because of its...
No, I think music will always stay in the hearts and minds of people, because it's a very strong thing,
For how long? We still remember classic composers, but we will remember us.
Well, maybe, I think a lot will, disappear, obviously, because a lot is online, and that, for example, things like YouTube will disappear for sure. Just like MySpace disappeared, for example. But I think that, for example, music combined with film will, exist for a longer time than music itself, really. But, who can tell? I don't know what the form will be in 20 years, It's quite exciting, actually, that there's so much changing. Because there's a lot of musicians complaining about, that they don't have a living because everybody's stealing their music or using it for free. But I think that will change really soon, and I think there will be a big change with that. And also, it's a very exciting time, and I really see a future for that. I really think that musicians will be okay. Yeah.
Okay. In the 2010, your native country gave the world a new term. It states that postmodernism will pass a baton to metamodernism, and among other things, it will be accompanied by the acquisition of new values and birth of new romanticism. Is romanticism your nation shape?
I have no idea. I have no idea what that means, really. It's just a word, you know. I don't know. I couldn't tell that. I can't answer that question.
Do you have the feeling that new values are arise or already born?
Say that again?
Do you have the feeling that the new values, spiritual values, emerging or born already?
New spiritual warriors. I think there are always spiritual warriors. You know, there's always examples and of that. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, they are reborn. Yeah. I think that there are a lot of really great spiritual souls. Except maybe mainstream doesn't see that or it doesn't go that far. Doesn't mean they don't exist. I'm sure they do, but except they're not given attention. So.
Before the era of Renaissance, people believed that genius is not a human, but more like a spirit or a demon, and the man is only a mediator, which can read whispers to him, those spirits. Even they say not he's a genius, but he has genius.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Oh, I can agree with that. It's sort of the idea of the medium. I feel like a medium sometimes with these melodies. That when I come up with the right melody and I'm composing, and it just feels like something that's already there. And then when I find it, it's more like a recognition or something. And in that way, I feel like a medium, like I pick up melodies, that are already floating around, and I'm just like, it's not like I create them, but they just come through me, and that's sort of the thing. And I feel that way, yeah. So I would have to agree with that, yes.